wabom man Ghana we sika $2.6 billion anomonto benya
Mampani etu kwan ekọ Kenya man emu ene wabedru oba e wode nanantese aba emu nsem ye de beba
na ewom wo achimodan so assembly member bi o orichire de hono police station o no ohiamboa na wetu wesese na dan na cha dodo
a Greek minister fofora wabe afiase ebo aprohwa ban saase a yebetimi dia ye ku ana aboa na okodu nwa no nwa famsa eyo man ne dia no eni saase nyina ya ton dia ma aban a waban mu nipa ebi dada ena aban dada ye ko no ya nso mu nipa esikafo na ada ne esika brono ne sikafo brono no mu si adan edigu so minister eni ankoje kra ensemu enum bi ekeka ho ya akrofa man so de eka ho bi sikasemu nkomo ene bi eka ho nyina yaboa no a ye de ebesomo anwumrei yede aseda bema bohye by electric house ne wakofa nka ne apa ne ho ne omapanyina de abedwa so a afiewurafo ne adansifo enyina etobie sese kura de TikTok ni Instagram ne so eho ene odi na group a wakuru kire ni nyina de akogo ya mfoni a obehu TikTok ene Instagram no ehwa oba ha unsa ebeka bi de obeya ne so obefre 03220 30838 and 0536 095 966 eso
3P garlic mixture piwa kan wako foza ba oye immune booster obwa ama reduce high blood pressure ma wo bu wan nsa oye wo zechi nu inaro oye ho adwuma afi wo se bunu so no ontumi njere na aduye high sugar level oba maintain it amoye pa afi esora wo nsa ana wona na honam akwado oye otitichi esora esa na nsa achew da bia na nsinye police oye yere ba 3P botum abo stroke ana afi asthma ni nyina no 3P garlic mixture ye dra obo iye pant no Bora pharmacy shop biara ana afi oye herbal shop biara ebenye bi ewo ho ato bomazina from one inchemu biara repair neton mono 0248 928824 0248 928824
enuanu mienu a ebeye adwuman anwumrei di amamo midi de Akua Asieduah me menu abema
uncle ebo baini
afi yemfa brane yemfa KaseƐ ni nkyiremu ento amoso ene de yate arehosem afri nakpanduri na afre bimbagu ya eno bomprugu nakpanduri mensin mu wo north east mantam emu enante mienu awie ya ye so omadamfo bi di na woda nti otopono omunyina kohyia ne nadidi anonom bia na gya omagya ne ho eba fie na omo ba no obi anka bia nhyem nkwanhyia besi amanipa yi afri mu ye kwa homa so na ye ne okatachi Augustine Jare edi nkommo ya homa no echichiri wachiri ntimi ntom yenya Augustine ye de ne beba
ya tro wabra ye twa na Augustine yenkwa na enne wo Kumase oye West African Examination Council wotwe ne tiefon waye ko no office no na nyasam kakraba kra oye adesuafo bi na honawfo wokobo nchenku ho ni nyina ye de 2024 wasi ya mbebunu wotwe wokyerem de mbebunu be 2000 mecha empim ebien a wotwe wasi wie no de obaya waye kidin one result ba ma na in the university sa wa be ya won afafo woru kwen so wonya bia kon besiden de won certificate won fa ma won ni sasunti won awofo na adusuafo no wa ho he pa ya wo bo pin won wor chim de nhwom le chirem a oyeti ha Ahmedia Senior High School ni mo mbon mpo na won ho odoso ye pa na awofo le chirem de ma oye waye wor ye no oyaza orotwe won mba no won masua ozu kwechiri ye pa sanete won afafo a won wo ya won nsa ka won certificate no de ma bi mu wa start kra university work no baneten ena waye kfo wore yedam na wosimpo no waye kfo no mpo ena woto nsa de fro honde won momodena nan kan de wombra na dwumaji biara wo a wosusu dem from bay wokotworo exam sa wokoye nwom gibi na won hwehwem na wokwa sa waye kfo chere won kan bibia ankyere won.
I was given a message through WAEC that they want us on this 29th January. Come on, just witness what is going on regional office. I started my journey from Yendi as early as almost 4:30. Yes, I was just walking to the WAEC office. We sat there up to 10 o'clock, thereabouts, and the officials just gathered at hall 4. In that call, no meaningful results have been gotten. We don't achieve our objective. Don't tell us meaningful, so that is why we are agitating that either to release the results or to cancel the results for us to know what is going to happen. and they haven't told us anything.
Enti na in the day mosi wo oya West African Examination Council one atnaya oya Kumase awofo na adusuafo no wonanya briye papa
Yet was so a concern for more a kubia keka won ho so mo de M16 yes sunwane ye wobuno East Mantamu and a womo ewo na omanfo no kira Ora Vincent Ntweje ya omunim no no mampani bubodin moma post omonfa sunwane Metropolitan Chief Executive no MCE no emfa ema no ene dey M16 fo hia nsɛmtwerɛfo a waka wakosɛm nyina de ato anim so omo abrɛ papa ansa na nkonim de ayekase sei aba party nafa eno nti omo ntena ase mama mpani nkoyi obi a omompe ni omope na omobeka mama mpani no aye ede ama wo mo na M16 panyi a wodi wani mu ne nsɛm odi to dwani
mpemfo ni bi adana omo sasa akroma umpanyini ye be start abato na ye ba be start no esenka wo beboa na ye nyina ye ba power wantimi ama meboa wakwa kwotena free wo ye ukosi akọ ndifra kosi akwa ye adwuma edi ama omo nti se na ye ya boa ma ye MP na ba Uba bejaba betu eba be vetin no ene ye ka kire me papa jo mama sunwani bi amode ne beba a enya Vincent bia no obi a obaba bia no ye ma ne bete na office wo apart from Vincent de enimu no enti onu na ye hia no ye won panfo bi wo hono ma no mu de NDC ade ya dai ade ya business this time around na ya ba no sade ne atwam ebeduru abato tam ye bo penyifo na mane akomo nan so saa se ya na ye party security wa obi aya adwuma wo no constitution nti kwan ban na ebe fa so ama yesu yesi ne yetime wi ne ye kɔ adwin bia penyin bia ne ho ma ye saa adwin na yeti M16 ayewo sunran omo se omo be boy party security omo be train ye twen party security ni saa obi ama na ye sori aginam ye to ya ankasa ye motos asori patrol ya boajuma from anaju to anapa still taina no mogusu tanye but ye be stress penyifo no hwe na yi Vincent maye ye nyimo bia wo hwan apart from Vincent ne ye MP ye betima hyehi ties ye betima ye demonstration ye betima ye de omumpe
Abusuafo M16 fo ewo sunwane omo asem no no se mbetimi ahye ties aye bibia nche se eba ne de aden a eni aden no mo de bi befam na so omo mpese omo bekɔ ne saa enti mampani nti omo asem no fa Vincent Ntweje emfamra
na yemfa oye kasebo nko pemu oman yefutu samfo yewura oye ato forcing ne akache na ono na finance minister oluchirem de Ghana ya tedende yetum yenye amana huru bia yaze wana kawa anka woro hwenyim de mpempren yaze honis kaba mahwan na wahwe oman yesi kasam nuntutu bebi a wekoduna na kire Ghana yenya nduru bebi a yebetum yetwe na kaw ama amana yaze wo kanisa sunti owura ato forcing oluchirem de yenye dam amane akọ apam nkrata nsa wodwon nsa asase nisa sunti oman bi ti da China and afi France onyamfo ato forcing chirima oyaza honyina wa Japan na wose se wodyan boko echiri kakra oyede year 2022 ena Ghana yekọ ahochiri ye pa ya inni ama horwa ena nka Ghana yedze won kawa na woro hwenyimde yebetu yana kaw no yen won ka sai mu wa Japan de ode yesan yetwe ekaw no ko echi na wole chirem de ehwe mosma inde inflation otumi pagye no mu okoya modu bebi na Ghana no inflation etuma ko 54% no onu manu ko hia de hinis kasam no wato ape ema de year 2023 domestic debt exchange program ya zebaya onu nso no amana howa na wotin ekoyen ho kase na wose oye afe a otwami na oye January 12 2024 no omani ye bombo tina na amana howa wodi yen kaw no ya ye insa ehye nkrata ase ema inde waji tuma damabri ena wetum na bibiara ntase nkrata biara no wetum waye ni nyina wia ntase abade ya be start the year the year 2026 no ena atofo sene chirema oye fotosemfa otwema ono ba shana no Muhammad Amin Adam eno freedom dwumaji na sa ono atofo sene wabotedo.
One of the key elements of the debt restructuring was the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding
by the Official Creditors Committee for Ghana. The former Minister of Finance, the Honorable Mohammed Amin Adam, commenced the process for the signing of the MOU by individual members of the Official Creditors Committee in June 2024. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to announce that following His Excellency the President's directive, we have made significant progress in Ghana's external debt restructuring. On the 17th of January 2025, I, in my capacity as Minister of Finance designate, met with Ghana's advisors and the technical team of the Ministry of Finance to discuss the state of affairs, create a timeline, and outline action plan for implementation. Since then, the Ministry of Finance team have worked tirelessly to advance the President directive. Ladies and gentlemen, today marks a significant milestone from the team, and we are pleased to inform all Ghanaians that the Memorandum of Understanding, reached with the Official Creditors Committee last June, has now been fully signed by all 25 participating creditors country. We are grateful for the Official Creditors Committee's members, their commitment, and particularly the committee's co-chair, China and France, for their support and assistance to Ghana throughout this process.
Yera to force no my to samfo and in some order to go bra only chema the man motina wa bra magana we save visika oil $2.8 billion.
Ghana Mampani His Excellency John Mahama etu kwan from my Ghana mobile na nsanie edi nani chire mu ewo Kenya okwa man binom so ekohia Kenya Mampani William Ruto ya wone no akwadwendwene niema bebre eho na omokoye retreat na chese omokotena dan mu edwendwene aman ni mienu ne abibiman nyina eye die ho African Union kwampa ebetime de afaso asomdwe ne amanyina ye security ni nyina betime agira ne nan so ye na bibiman befa ne ntoma pa efra Mampani Mahama esan ko Tanzania ye hono ode enam yensa ekobo apro ewo ho ofiri ho ko Angola ne ho so kohia Mampani ene mpanyimfo ewo ho no omokohia ekodi nkomo Felix Kwachiofusu ene yeso afo a wo hwe kire sesei aban enkitahudie ene ne ho nkomodie nyina mecha minister designate ya in charge of government communications so wono na di nsami atu yenim
which was the last leg of a three-nation tour. The tour began with a brief stopover in Angola, where President Mahama engaged his Angolan counterparts, held some bilateral discussions, which revolved around ways that could be explored to deepen the already very healthy ties between Ghana and Angola and explore areas of mutual cooperation for the economic benefits of both nations. It was a brief visit, just a couple of hours. After that, His Excellency headed for Kenya, where he was invited by the President of Kenya, who is a champion of the reforms, institutional reforms of the African Union. So an event, which is the extended bureau meeting of the African Union institutional reform, was convened, at which His Excellency President Mahama underscored the need for deep-seated reforms in the way that the African Union operates and carries out its mandate, so that the benefits of Pan-Africanism and regional integration can be better felt by the hundreds of millions of people living on the African continent. It was a very fruitful event, and every indication is that following on from that meeting, more progress will be made in terms of the far-reaching reforms that need to be carried out in the African Union for the benefit of all. After that important meeting, the President then went to Tanzania, where he had been invited to participate in an energy summit organized by the World Bank, the African Development Bank, the Rockefeller Foundation, and other organizations. The objective of the summit was to discuss ways of extending access to energy to underserved areas within Africa. And so the heads of states met following an earlier meeting by ministers of energy of various African countries. Each head of state took his turn, I beg your pardon, to elaborate briefly on what the commitments to this objective were and what they had done in order to ensure its realization.
Wei ora Felix kwachi ofusu ono na ekasa de mama mpani ene aban no ochira omukwa aman bi ti say Angola omukọ Tanzania omukọ Kenya na say nkomo mu di firi oba ye nyina ya somdwe enti ogidi say Ghana begina so na ode etumpon akonenim.
Ye traka sabonu ne ye kopo emu wo oye epoyimantem na epoyimantem ye rekọ achim oda mensinu mu na mensinu mu no worechira district police station oho wo fro ho number 9 na worichim de assembly members bi aka won ho abom na wo se police station ni mesmo waye no nya kura obehia de inde nyimpa baboa ne police station wenyensiesi a obotum wa ma wegyen na do ye pa bronyi ba fa renovation na assembly members wole chirima oyaza wonya ne nte de police station ya since 1928 wosi su a waye adwuma body de mabre police station ni ejanan bia enti oye number 9 police station no se watcher oye obi na wode ne kwoto a oncher bia na we nyimpa na efro na wa police station bia obe na wasa wode ne ko sanete police station no nyi ejanan bia no na assembly members a wo mention no no wo ka wonu bom anavo papa ya onya ko amu oji wonanyim na ole chirem de what's the mansam no wakaka wonen saze wopa aboafo so bi ka ho ene wokasi ejanan bia wazima police station na still wole sa afofo so de ahoso wombra na womma police station na mwa
Mampanyi yewura John Dramani Mahama onu ankasa ababo ntene ababeka se nipa bia wafa ne se upati amini enti wobeye akakabensem patapa ne mentem ho ase no mra ne no bedi ni pepepe mra no enu bedi ni pepepe nti onu amfansu angunanum emra okasa asem oka oye very clear ma bia ke enti unfortunate say eduba bia ne bibi sei esi eduba bia me
enti honorable assembly members yaza woli chim de womo madina na wohia emwa na wonsese police station wo wie no so no assembly members bi so wo kasa wo kire wonanyi so anamonto a wetu ena afoforo a wo bo honma wotu da mana money
yetu anamoni bio na yakoye nimu a Ghana enya soafo foforo ya obehwe nuane sem ni ko adwuma ho nsem so meche minister of food and agriculture obia be fa adwuma bi no wo ya otu anamo kokoko miamia hwehwe ba bi adwuma na no koduro ene nioma a ekoso e wasoye nim owura Eric Opoku enei wafi ase ya mofa one wo adwuma yefo enyina etu anamo akokoko miamia hodo bi a ba bi a eye aban saase a na yade a yedi eye ku afiri kwa menkroma ni broni so no ene adane brono enkrofo si adan women in agriculture development and livestock breeding directorate ye wo boteman a ene won kran ye typhoid nungwa farms no ene nungwa farms na adane estate ya enkrofo sisi adan a brofo yusu a was influential individuals chese omo nsem obie obo okra na manyosem bi batane ho kakra aban dada okro nura ni omo kra aban ne ye no omo nkrofo bi wom ya omo atoto aban sa asisi dan e wo so ebie owura Dennis Ajay ono ni farm manager wo kire ohawo a omo famu ewo ebia ho e de kire ne soafo e kire say encroachment ene ade aya ha omo papa wote wa obenso obi asidan na baby a ye nantwie no no obi nso ti baby e wo fufuo nam so ma adwuma na ye den de ama wo
where we used to develop our pasture for our animals. All those places have been now turned into residential, which is making our productivity and even our security here. Now crossing the road is very difficult because the farm is at this side and our residential facilities are at the other side. Now we have to even lobby before they open the gate for us. So if we are coming, we have to park our cars outside.
Na enu na chino ena minister Eric Opoku wa kasora ka form se obegina operation recover all loot ora for etumi so na obiara wusi dan e wasase ne so bia no obebubu dan ne kura to egu.
And the private owners are asking them to evacuate. Evacuate to where? And so it's an issue that we are going to take it up seriously with the Ministry of Lands. This is for agricultural purposes. And until the area that is being prepared for you is done, nobody is moving an inch. This is the farm animal husbandry, Nkrumah's animal husbandry. And today it's like everything is gone. And surprisingly, this is the office from which you operate. And the private developer has a wall passing through your office. I mean, it's something that we cannot understand. So we'll refer this to the oral team to come immediately to look at it and then also generate a report for the consideration of Mr. President.
We a Greek minister, Ora Eric Opoku.
One day, Sebe vetting committee when in Imbramnya Okojina Mama Abrantia Oliver Baka Vomawo Nana Ato Daze and Ozero to Oye vetting committee when in day. And some Bia Oliver Kokan the far committee no ho there were a JJ and Ademude Emmanuel committee turn suffering on Yade or turn or the Damasceno to go there or Zurugu committee no. Wonu fi namum oyasem bia ote inde ina wode oduru to gwa na wayem de empanyifo botum wayem hwehwem de no korwom anade no kore nyim na wo in the 11 member committee ne wukuda den he na nya asam kakaba kwa woton sa de fa branch de asem a wakanum yedu onfa ngina domba na wode kopon na no ro echem de bi he was acting as a whistleblower. Nemo nyade my brother Christo. Hey, me say you have me trying makumalu. How the mayente makumalu.
I would want to say immediately that one, it was never his intention to make statements disparaging the appointment committee. Two, but the statement that we see is clearly can be seen as a double meaning or interpretation depending upon who reads it, but certainly not a matter attacking the appointments committee at all. Indeed, if it's anything at all to go by, it is a statement of a whistleblower saying that some things are happening. And we have passed the Whistleblowers Act in this country, in which circumstances I would think that they should be commended. Under the Whistleblowers Act, he probably will need some compensation for services rendered, really. But, I mean, without making it sound like on a serious matter, we're saying that this statement here and the way it's been put out, as though he intended to vilify this honorable committee, is certainly very far away from what he intended the post to be. And that the post was only intended to expose some misconduct by other third parties affecting the work of the committee.
No ya nana atuda zinne dei wambra sebe gom vetting committee nanyim no ka jiram de lawyer penyine dima Oliver Baka na Oliver na nkasa ne wa ba aje padi na nkasa ne ma hu ne
onipa bi wo ha
oya jejefo
oya jejefo ana so se ye fe ni kowankra asamu kowu na mekra no
oda onna no ko kakan
ahompam je ne fo ni wa otimi kasa mekra me call viral
ache ntime fa ko
sem ye
no to say cameras dano du wiadi na already
what is so say me no me no so na ko kan asem we an
akadama bin ke yedem
onfa na
no do baby na MPC na ho ankasa wo say wa ka asem ho ankasa will protect no majority whip you know very well there Parliament committee being who I said apart from this vetting committee privileges committee na esenka wonja no monko no it is not inti man or park ade wonja no monko no baby na
ya kwa command friend no because anya ibiasa I
said the yellow yaboko. I'm a lawyer. I said, I said, what can I some crowd? I was for a year to us, so country manager or the International Development Program, IDP, ano, Ram Marie Stella Cheche. Wakasa de ato Ghana fo nyina anim se ye de nwomesua to ne esi abrosan ye to aso do de ma wafa nwomesua no na no ne mahiani ni sikani etumi ye pe ebiebia pro bebre de manipa e wo bra kwantu a ye na mu yi emu wode semi to dwabra International Development Program Education IELTS obi ano e wo Kumase
School code are very important. The edge all Ghanaian student professionals say school code it so many opportunities for you. It is a what in a few team you share so mobile office hire yen plans for the future. I am guided on the course selection, then guided on which the prospects that you have in studying in those countries, the post-study opportunities, and I buy English so yes, we are co-owners of IELTS. It's never wow. Prepare. There was several books I ever wow online and paper to help you prepare adequately for the IELTS exams. For Ghanaians, we want you to succeed through IDP. We good success stories to come from Ghanaians, and we want you to always remember IDP as your trusted partner for overseas study and for English language testing.
Say IELTS no any testing kwa a whole it's a big opportunity for you. Say would it be enhancing your career professionally and as a academic level?
Na ababa Marie Cheche echino ora fumi Peter Thomas yo Sahara Africa Area Operations Manager ewo IELTS nso hwe ayeto de kwabroche University mu enso kire ye se won ma bekuma se ebesoma santeman enti obebo won hu dawura momanfo nyina ate wonka.
Okay. Corner of IELTS alongside with British Council and Cambridge English, we just launched our Accra and Kumasi office since today. And we started operations February 2024 and started with paper-based testing, and we also started IELTS computer testing also June 2024. We decided to actually choose Ghana because it has the potential for testing, and we are true to establish here.
Eraba fumi Peter Thomas ono nso eka IELTS mpanyimfo ne ho ne nsem eno de tu dwa no
afi yantu akasebo no do ne yemfa mo ho ne nda mbrasebogom tenene mo kire speaker onnyamfo Abansman Babin ina indei ore kire oye appointment committee ni de ore wedi won ye opa na ose na le hwebi afoforo so le hwe both oye local and international obiara hwebi na nkra oli nyano le kirem de ekwana appointment committee wo fodo wo hona ade no oroma enyiza osafata zima mrashebegomfo no wototo na ase na oraka hone de dwumagina worigino ni nyina boboa ema oye enyiza timemufo na afofo wo wote mamrashebegomfo no wetum wakonanyim nye pa na wonka hone de se eriponyiza oye wana muntu na wonhye na wonjiye na orokan people actually vetting committee members in day nyema bi wo hono sawore ya o man nyijo osafata no timemfu nya wonfa mamma sebegomnti no wonbo wo hono mponte no da dwumagina awoli gi no enhyehyɛ na anhyehyɛ awodi egu akwemu no ono na wonfa mfado wonfa nya vetting no manka mama wo machido na me yempi na metasama se me komanyima ame na menyima ade na nka ye bibiara na enkroli nya no onya de papa ontwa ye kura.
But even members themselves don't take them serious. I think we need to. But before we ask for our pound of flesh, respect is earned. Please, appointments committee, we have crafted rules of how appointments committee should conduct the business of public hearing. That is the term used, public hearing of nominees of the president. I'm not too sure there's reference to those rules in what I am witnessing myself. And I've received so many complaints from observers in Ghana and outside Ghana. This is an opportunity for me to draw your attention to it, that please, respect is earned. How we behave or misbehave will determine how the people will behave towards us or misbehave towards us.
And the Speaker of Parliament, Onyanfa Abansman Babin, in number 7 governors are futa, New Year's year parts ma or your appointment committee in the day. When you want in Yama Wakona, Obenya Nizo Safatado.
Kane Abankra Chipani a no wo atwemanwa biagya mpesa so e wa santimantami mu wo NDC abanda da no epen so e na na saribedi akododo na bone mrani so Obama ene yi woni a APKMA panyin no oka ho bi na wo so no de adwuma no waye bi pan mfie nwotwe na oye MCE na wo hu ne ho se wono na obetimi aye adwuma no na botire nya ne odo a wo ma nipa ene ne kasa de ya wode ne nipa te no ogidi se eno bema no edi nkunim da edin ne beba no ye bebo no na ono ena wodi dibre no ama no ene da yiwo hia nsam tofo kumase no de nsam itudwa
ene ya part of the team wa NDC mpanyimfo ye ka wa Ashanti regional wo kan ba ku mienu miensa se Obama me ka ho bi ye adwumaden na I think say nyame kopon na di enhira no ne aseda somebody like me a problem because one year grassroots persons and a year adwuma no fretete and from 2016 year adwuma 2020 year adwuma nyame amfa nkurimdie amayen 2024 year to abane wie year 2020 6 months after that and I started campaign. I was the first person I made me car brand the NDC and them kumo har mu nyina ya chi obi adi ho adanse so for 3 good years e gina adwuma no ye wo mu ayeye nti na ye ne ehwa ne se nkurimdie beba na mo arehye se mpadimfo ni madwuma ayaye ena mo nim se e menye bia bi asebe eye bia bi a eye bia obetim de di agro eye bia bi a ehia sebe son sebe nya ado eye akukuduro experience ena again ebuo enidie a de mampanimfo nti to me enim se with ahombrase am wo no God will no bia be okay. But to be frank, politics in general is a very tedious work. And the moment that you are challenged this way, and me who do my way, my bida, I will be able to dance here. Say I was judged the #1 DC in Ashanti region.
Na eno eye nana asaribedi akon na eno achi no eno kire say waku ne ho de ama NDC party ache papa na nanom nim no adwadifo assembly members e wo mpeso ahodo so ene ankorankora nyina gye ne tum na ono so ye gye ne tum na obeye KM panyin a adwuma obebo e wo Kumasi Asantema mu no ebe obi afe
di mu a I think say ye hwe ba bi te say ebuakwa ne sunu ne ban aye KM na wo hwe ekwan a ye fa so eye adwuma nkunimdie ba ya we are rechemo say enye problem kra because one me wotima manipa metini passe me obi a me bu ade ye maame mu ne no mbe ye adwuma ye ne ahemfu ne ba be ye adwuma ye ne akukudam ne ba be ye adwuma. Imagine the kind of hospital I were within the metropolis. It tells you say ese me brem ho ase na menya fama ahoho fama ema nipa de se ne bi am ne be sign na me mo arehemu say me sunu me ban one menye arrogant menya ahomaso tu me bu obi biara obeba makwam remi ye nipa bi asebe nipa nkanko eye me hawo ade bi ampese nipa ekonkan enti with me with KM ne de me arehemu say bibia be kama. Aside that, a party as like the NDC Ashanti region ye to aba they be ameka say Ashanti region enye baby a ye vote you vote pa sometimes depending the kind of leadership that we have. And with me cash in main munyam say Ashanti region come 2028 and normal basis under our leadership.
We nana saribedi akon Obama opekeme mayor ono enene ensam trofo twetwe nkomo
ma yambo mbotene na yankwa homandu yankezi nkomo na rahosama ofri oye enkwanta south mensin no mo oraba echema bronu bia ofo kajebi abayo bia weji mfi eduonu na nambo ni jinje oye fatawu Fatima yerekese wahye no akonfo yenye akosi Ali Caleb engine komo Caleb akwaba Caleb ma yeti impempre kase bodu ne nukwa be no wom so no kwara obanedan
yo sadia mutien sa no kure pepe abayua ani bin ede eye Fatawu Fatima what is bisha owo ye farming community ya na se bronu dia ye fra ho kechebi ono e won kwanta south mu ha nanu ada enenya antie sa brantie anase abayua di odi abrantie bi ani di ede kwabena Fatawu ana etie na enya antie se wasan onankasa na wakomfo amprempre wato ananan ewo entie to nyina enisen oni okunu ena etie ewo keche bi honom na nano ena eye okunu no ekwo fom enwa na abapa wayi akopa ne kantimati a wone no eba be sa wo anase oba de ti empaso gidi ewo ne be mai edem Ewana eye papa na ono ani sister penyi eye oba yi na kuma ani eye adihye bi omo ewo mpotem ho ebo omo ntente na ekwachi omo a na wo mo edi mpaso agudi na eba no saa no na eye akuma no ani adihye omo ewo mpotem ho no odi abayo esi mo pinsa mo huru no wu na kese wa huru na ama fede ani aningwa chenti abayo yi efa eye ahoma efa ko kwanso a abra me na akwasan mo akomfo a wa na enwa sem se abayo yi a wadi visa edi ade a wokuta abofra kitwa a abofra nimpo no onye ntwa no nufu abofra nimpo eguso a wonum ena wakwa di eye interest abede emo no omakwa akopɛ ne krabre ne mo mbemma no a woni ne kodi sa nyambra sem ne de wadwane asabre ya positive oguso a wo ehwe na busafo so eye sa mamre ne amane a eye sanse wo mo eye muslimi fo nti no eye amamre ne atumi akata abayo ne achikura nti mu busa ya amane no ta na tie bebebe
na akosi sidibio ba ma no onye ne to aba na mo na Fatima na benyin ko ikrom ho a kaje bi ho a na ho nyina wo fira
wo mu nyina ewo kaje bi ho a na je se wo mu ni wo mo ho brantia no kura enim asa Fatima yi eni ne kunu kwa bena fataw yi se wo mu nyina ete wo no mo a enya ne kura na awia enim na brantia no na ono akasa mpena na eye sa branche ya wono na nei ya kwakwache ne se woni ne eye sa na sa adeti na okunu eku afuom a na woni no emienu akwakwache dem ha na omo ye de omo pe no na nyame apa omo so ntuma na no ada ya kwakwache omo abayo yi so afa aningwase ana se nam aningwase so aso ananam e won shebi
akwesi Caleb Eyumbuaze samanam yada se na womber for yechi apostle fu won so se abrante animu a ena ma ye na so ate yada se pa na wa manje bo anyumbre
so me da se fa
nta ye wo se mo ofika jebi nkwanta south mensi no mu wa banyen ante ko anya agro
sisi abrante na ye ne den
se wo ye ya lobi ya nwro mu wa na chede wo ka chi hon
nti ni mwa se fa ni wa na fa ni mu
nti na chede enyimguase
no wu asofo ye dida social si so omo anya to wa omo dey concert
sofumpo sofumpo akoyo obi ma onumpo olubo no safo he ne maare sofumpo
yere no man 90 fie kikan semwe
maare
se me yere di ache me won twen so di ache na ye bere ebu sofo ye to aso we areho sem papa wa kuma susa na wo koya de we nyobia na kuma timi ni omo
dabi nyobia
ye komfante central region na gomoaboase gomoa central mensini mu na ember asomako ya otoso nkron woni ni gomoaboase hene wakasa kyerem se nioma eboa ma setenemu ye de na ebie obronis opportunities ema mabuno no ne mpotemo de omu nya bi gomoaboase nioma adwuma omu ye ne hokese pa ye fom dwuma ana akua na enipa baye mpim du 10,000 ena won peso no eso na so nioma patisa kwan ayaresabia papa ensupa ejanan bia suku adan enioma eboa mayedie banyina abowo mo obi ti gomu aboase no yare a jeso koso eduro government hospital ene akohwe no omo ade chiefs compound kura woni bi na ne nsemi wode atodwa kire mpanyimfo so omra na ometwa wani mehwe won na omo so ka Ghana ho
Gomu aboase, like I said earlier, in the Gomu Central district now. If I'm not mistaken, this is the biggest. We need a lot of social amenities here. Hospital Wahana, Minya sure say a swing Wahasi. We need bigger hospital. It is a very busy road. So Akua Kuprimo Apam main road. So we need the road to be fixed. Make sure that the Juma now also when you Juma tomorrow. Now one kitchen now how kitchen together with my elders. We're making sure that the resolve the issues now. This is a very big community. The one central community. The one central community. The one was, if I'm not mistaken, is the biggest. So this is a hub. Investor here can come here, open a business here. I own a hub here. We're very, very strong and ambitious. We are ready to work.
na enu na chi no gomu aboase asona adehibusua busua panyi eye jamo ono so kasa bi kire so manfo won potemo ne ti asomdwe mu papa enu nti obia wo sika bi apese odi bi adwuma no yafo ani kire gomu aboase na bra na emebunu wo ha wo benya adwuma wo beye.
It's all about peace. Once you are ko bia yin wa akakaka kan yim man na makura o do bi a o se bi na adwen dam na o se na mo ya za o yehu o ye wanwa bia ntokwa bi wa o kun bia yin a asɛmsase na onkodo nkɔfo na wɔn hu baabi a ahenzi no ɔwɔ nsi na ahenzi no abada nanam nkuro baasa saha mankesim chebi na wɔdwene ho wɔde wɔn nkuro ase na wɔdwene ho kan bom moto ɔbɔ ase nsi sɛ yɛ kan no kwaza dam nkuro baasa no mu abusua mpanyinfo ɔyɛ asonafo abien na bishinafo na wɔdwene ho dɛ wɔbɛtena na wɔatena since 1947 wada koyi nsi enne yegyina yi ya kan ya chi de nhihye yezitu ye nkuwa basana yede bakuma ona ye na yeze edwuma yi osan de saafo wo hye ohene ne wa twene mankasunfu wo hye mankrado anne okan yan hu chebifu wo hye obatan na okan yan hu nsi na ya bai ya kan ya bom ya boa ya hene na hemfa basa na won panfu na ya hwe de akaka bi ohobia no do botwa mankumize aba
abusuafo wei eye gomu aboase ohemfofra wanya no ene na busua pani ene esrese asomdwe wo wo mpotemo ho enti investors amu sika amu de bebie nwuma no momra na amu mebie bi na mabunu nya bi nye
opanyin afi ina wa po no de onkoye opanyin kwankyerefo onfama Ghana Cocoa Board Dr. Randy Abe ina orkase de ebrenya dru do wode Cocoa Board wo mu obeye biara na oye koko ekuafo no sika biara inei wasen oye Cocoa Board one board no to no wo bombadna wode de miskan wode hwe oye koko ekuafo ni senti na wobraye pa na opanyini wo boni zinde onkaye oye opanyin kwankyerefo mfama Cocoa Board no eyi bra ozikana inhyemuda empanyimfa a wokabi wo ho ena ekuafo nso a wonyina woboa ama Cocoa Board dwumadi okodo no wokohyem ena woye intotwe no no mu no panyin le kade eba wa be onu sika biara inne oha Cocoa Board workers ina wana waka no wansam fatada wode bo ho no wode ni nyina bo oye koko kwafo sanete se Ghana yesi yeludua koko ni yetumi enyemu sika ema oman anya do mfaso a no ekoko kwafo ntini seso nti sika biara oba Cocoa Board no na kase owode okọ oye koko kwafo nchen erinti no warabobua na koko ya yedue no akasim ye pa nka mmaye wasisi a no ha olebetrem Ghana ya tsu koko ma yakoyene nim ye pa.
They are the practitioners. They've been involved in this for decades, and in every act, in any decision that we take, we need to have their inputs. And so, I mean, they ought to be central in our decision making. And we also need to prioritize their welfare. And so that's what I mean by putting the cocoa farmer at the center of what we do here. There are some things that have been started. For example, the issue of rehabilitation of some of the farms. We need to intensify that. We first of all need to fully understand what is going on and to intensify it as well. We need to work together with the farmers to see how we can increase that. There's also the issue of also prioritizing large-scale farming. If you look at Cote d'Ivoire and some of the Southern American countries, there's a certain focus on large-scale farming. So yes, we have depended on our cocoa farmers who do a lot more small-scale for decades. I think that we also need to begin to prioritize large-scale farming, whilst we're also looking at the aging farms. We are rehabilitating the diseased trees and all that.
Na opanyinu Randy Abe na no teno ena opanyini kasamafo atema Ghana Cocoa Coffee Senate Farmers Association Kokoshi Imoro Isifu Alhassan ono nso ichiremde womo modina na ohobiara o cocoa sector hono womwa na wonyida ma hono info dem roba ya cocoa kwaye coffee kwaye senate kwaye no obotum wa kwane nyi pa wo man Ghana.
Have come at a time the cocoa, coffee, and shea nut sectors are facing huge challenges that must be tackled immediately. The challenges include, but not limited to, declining production, low incomes for farmers, persistent threats from pests and diseases on the farms. Another major threat that has significantly affected cocoa production is galamsey. These issues and others remain critical priorities for us, and we look forward to working closely with your office to tackle them effectively. Cocoa production, as you have indicated, is at its lowest and unprecedented in the annals of cocoa production in Ghana. From a production level of over 1 million tons to below 500,000 tons as we speak, is sickening. For production to sink this low calls for urgent need to tackle these challenges head on.
Imoro Isifu Al-Hassan, Piero Ozema, Cocoa, Coffee, Shanat Farmers Association of Ghana, National Samadu to go abroad and the Abbey, on one share Cocoa Board, what a jungle cocoa for whom.
Yet one samne so a yenina yenim se edu kwada se ya yedi nkomo efa nyamesem mu nsam neoma bi ayente ase o twerɛnim ene nkomo bi efa bible ene nyamesem emu na afi yesi mu nkyɛ yebisebisa nsɔre ahodo ni nyina omo botaye eye omo teams ahodo a wode etu anamon afi 2025 yedi kan ne Catholic ye ne Methodist ne Presby ne asafo ne bebre edi nkomo nene ba bi ayedro eye International Central Gospel Church ayetwa ne tefe no ICGC na sofopani a ode osofo Dr. George Dutamensa ya wono edum branch no oda no na yene no ekodi nkomo ye bisa ICGC for afi omuteam a wo di etu 2025 ekwan ne de ye hwe ni mu efi onyankopon ho onyame sofo Christ asomdwe nka wanwumre yi
Maame Christ asomdwe so nka
amen yada senso se waje brese oni ya betwetwe nkomo na afi 2025 yi yenya nim sa nche ne ye ko ye watch night ediwura 2025 emu enioma ye ko so ho bie ene enioma ye de ewura afi mu no ewom se nnu ba bia de nenso ye wogidie ne arehemu se bebre wo hwa onyame beye de aka ho ICGC a theme anamobotaye 2025 mpacho wadaroma eni ye ni ho nkomo kakra
yo we de Asieduah na midimam na ICGC are sorry ya botaye eda yeneni so afi we ye ya to di Jesus team no any Jesus na yehu se nkofo bebe som nyankopon but omo nsheda nim nyankopon no omo som no enti afati yehu se we die be church nyankopon na yesom no ye friend Jesus be church Jesus no send oti then wo no then ya nduma yefa enuntina yefa sa team so that amanfo bebre betimi ya nyankopon no o ya de na nipa na wodi nanim no unnim no a be da na wasom no ntimi sum ye especially in this time I wo mu a you bebre koso no be koso asori mu ni no be koso enti na say ye patu ye ho say the church Jesus na ye di na chi the church Jesus entire message on Christ so I feel we eno na ye ko na ye fan say Jesus bisa nkofo bi na ne sua fam bisa mo say na nipa humi sai sanya nipa humi so obisi Elijah obisi or prophet obisi or this obisi say so in that context na che say ubetumi di yankopon na chi ubetumi di Jesus na chi but na woni
yeah
woni no so a enya guarantee say eno na wodi na chi but we could do something different. Now we do not so. And you know, you have some mind, pa. I see this day. You have some mind. You be Jesus now. On them so a sorry starting here. And I'm so ma Christian faith. The GD4 when faith, you know. And then again, I'm so the fapping or crisis. Prefer for your doctrine, the fapping or crisis. It just say, and yes, I want to mean delay.
I see. Now, baby, say, after 2025, any ye be who Jesus, and I be who Onyankopon yana. And fear be a best man to know.
I'm not for who that. I'm not for him, being seen, but I didn't. But here I need no crown. Yes, you and said I need no. Who share mighty baby at Jesus to be sunk of one. Now, I'm only doing it. It's your phone crowd dignity. I'm only doing it. Be sound there. Whom do you think? Whom do men think I am? I'm going to say, a busy Elijah. A busy will say, a busy CEO say, it is only Peter. No, KaseÄ, you are the son of man.
Yeah.
You are the son of God. Now Jesus catch and say, flesh and blood did not reveal to you. And then you found
yeah.
Let us say, yes, Lucano. One thing I want to be, you can't know him, you can't see him except he reveals to you. And it's our question, Jesus Christ is said, upon this rock I will build my church. Upon this revelation, upon this understanding, I will build my church. And I'm saying, what 80, let me see my soul die. Not just say, and I say, yes, you and say it me crazy as all die. And I say, with me, I sorry.
I see. Osha. Sadia nkyerɛkyerɛ ahodoɔ ɛkɔ doctrines bebree wɔ hɔ ɛso yɛn nyinaa nyamekoro ya na yɛka bom sɛ yɛsom no ebi die no ɛtɔ kyew a yɛwɔ som no bi wɔ hɔ a ɔmo de ɔmo hu Yesu sɛ ɔno ne Kristosom nyinaa fapem anaa.
Yes, bebree and bebree na me am the background me ankasa as a personal background me ko Hare Krishna kakra.
I see.
Na let me see say Nyankopɔn na me di n'akyi. No that. Sana nyono. Enti esomo ni de bebree wo hwɛ adisumu a there different levels of doctrines, but not all doctrines are coming from God. And into na as I say, yes, you church Christ no. Ono the asor no ba ye, ono ye asor no topic. Ono ye the basis for our faith. As I say, a church no. Now yes, as you say, Jesus should buy me, musuni. It is a oh someone sa sui necessary if you are bomba. Because we can't do anything and say it's God. We can't do that. Doctrines they braba. In church they bring. Ushe mo so egwu ho a. Eni Nyankopon ni sukra mfa kwan so. Ntino as I say we go back to the basis. We go if you ban as a church. We will say so because this is what is expected of you. This is how you must live. So you more blood different beer. We will say no, we are young.
I see. And na ICGC for ewa dwuma ewa fimu. Na madwen ho ansa na megya wona wa to ade we yeso no say. Mo de Yesu hu na mo pese mo hunu no yie no ebi bekwa bonten. And I be limited to asafo manko.
Yes,
evangelism
nso. Yeah, the evangelism, the programs, banners, everything that we will do, it will come under this umbrella. The back side we are. When I see this, every year be a yes, every year be a routine. Last year here God, this year here Jesus. And so yes, so that I'm not going to say the Trinity. Nyankopon Basakon, God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. Ya church ni ya church na obi atia se so wo kwa sorry I won't say Nyankopon ni Jesus ni Holy Spirit ni omujuma omoye na what but in that 2025 we are on Christ, Jesus Christ.
Okay. Baba ya da se papa ya du besia.
Yo, nyame nka mo.
On council. Yes, that's it. Ebusuafo so for Dr. George Duta Mensa or Yadum branch ICGC so for Penny. Ono na mote se ani di nkomo. Ono se afi ICGC for team or see Jesus. Ba ko pe Yesu no na no enom di betu ana mo di bia kwasem patrew e wa bontin nyina. Omo e wo dwanbo nim de omo wom dada na omo e wo ban na chi no.
Nwa bu na so kwa ho na wo mu kwa dodo na nye bi na wa kwa obi a ona gwanhwefo akọ obi a wen
wa no kumbia ya bia yankwa
gwanhwefo na kumbia bia obi ema ye bi so ma ya
Yesu so de wo hwe nwan so wo ba ko yira kura no
onwe gwanem bi ma ne simugbu ngbu nanum da
asem
da mo gwan yo kwa wi onye din nti otumi
o lamp odwan ne ba
and how the record papa record na ede bobo imyo bi a oyede na obaka wusimin emejine social media mfanya me adwuma emme de mawe na guda wongu nyame ne ho fi na otaso holo hwe yinala Maame yentu ede na yerebo ni tew na yedze amahoro densam za twedo za amamo ana Bank of Ghana ina inde wolka sei ina woli chim de wode nyama gu akwanu woye nhyehyɛ na nka wɔhwɛ anyim dɛ inflation ɔyɛ dambra nyama no bo otum kɔso wɔ manyim no wɔhwɛ ada nka afia yɛ atu esimi a ɔbɛto akofoma biribi a wɔatwam yɛkɔ 54% de mabra yɛreka sɛ yɛabefoma bodu 23% ne so wɔhwɛ dɛ na nka afia ne second ne third quarter no ɔbaba na wɔabasenge digital wɔde nhyehyɛ gu akwam no no ana Bank of Ghana opanyini pa oda no meche the governor Dr. Ernest Addison there why dem oye nhyehyɛ no mu nsakrai na waatwe wada akɔ afia odi hinanyimi meche the year 2026 den kam woro hwanyim de yebenya 2025 no obokɔ 2026 no de mensemi to gwa wo afi biara woni nhyemda woye na wo hwɛ ntotwe na nyama a wodi gwa kwamu dem roba ya microfinance bank no ni credit union na obofado na wahwe na wode didwuma na Bank of Ghana wetum wenya ma worhwe no ono eyiye motodo 120 second monetary policy committee ana wonye incentrafo kase no oli chem de impo RCCR omani IMF njisia yenye no wo enwana ayedze hwane kaw njisia foforo ayen ho na enya no na chede manka wo hwenyim de yebenya na afi no obokọ afi oji hin enyim mu.
Our forecasters are saying that instead of reaching the single digit by the first quarter of 2026, forecasts suggest that we will do that in the second quarter of 2026. Of course, all of that is predicated on the economic policy agenda, which is yet to be crafted. So we have to make some assumptions that we would continue on the fiscal consolidation part, and the budget that will be crafted would respect the parameters under the IMF program. And given that those parameters are respected, one can confidently say that the inflation profile would be close to what our forecasters are saying. The issue of food prices have played a significant role. You talked about the structural factors. This is mainly what you see when you look at the food price behavior throughout the year. And the supply chain issues, transport prices, changes during the year, which fed into food prices as well. And then we also know that 2024 was an election year. And in every election year, the role of sentiments and expectations and those kinds of other things that you cannot easily quantify also drives the exchange rate.
Dr. Ernest Addison, Bank of Ghana Governor, Ninsamo the two Guanintin, a single digit inflation now. A man Ghana Yawan and Kafimuno was the Yankan Yamebo 2026. Second quarter, Yanin Sabaka. Ye to na in the Ehumber Promise Radio 102.7 and after Promise TV. Yes, esi na Onyamfo Emmanuel Odo, Yowa Korea, retired army officer editor. And I was a woofer with the chin. You are Jimmy Crefuna was in 7 of my end. me penasa baba me check no I want to watch some of my hand I feel dicken I want and dicken wabatsna oya Christabel oba papa bi ninchen na production origi feeling odin sennam na pompom na abodwumota na dicken origi guru I want to know boy na chidom no producers nah
yes so I can come for mama when you me me Akua Asieduah me ne
uncle ebo bini yedesi